Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Dana Trucking. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Sorensen. Did seem and Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake.
Good morning, happy Tuesday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break, full show ahead, lots to get to. Bill Bush back tomorrow with us in studio, our permanent guest of the show will be here.
Yes,
tomorrow through Friday. So
yes, we look forward to his return. We will still do a show. He's probably listening.
Yes,
good morning,
Bill.
Bill.
Yeah, Bill. Good morning. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, maybe call in if you want. No,
don't call in.
I'm not telling
Just
you
text
to.
it.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that because now they'll. I mean, if I go somewhere, which I never do anymore, I don't want to call in. I don't want.
Yeah, I don't do that either. I go
No,
away and I might, check in after the fact how things went, but I usually don't listen. Not because I don't care. It's because I need a little. I have a break.
Well,
it's built in.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you 100% on that. When I get away, I'm getting away.
Absolutely.
I got to get away.
I've told you probably for 5 years now you should get away.
That's an Offspring song, isn't it? I've got to get away.
That sounds like Lenny Kravitz.
Ugh.
I want to get away. I want to fly away.
I got some idle chit chat.
Sponsored by Newton's Lawn Care. Call them today at 402-440-6297 to get a quote for a 2023 lawn fertilizer program.
You have established in the past, as have I, that if you walk into a convenience store or wherever and someone says no problem sport.
Oh no.
Or hey, that's cool, bud. Or those type of words you stiff arm. You dislike.
I hate them. I hate it.
Yeah, bud.
Hate it.
I got one though.
Nails in the
one that doesn't bother me as much. That's a recent phenomenon. Do you know where I'm going with this?
No.
Got it at Taco Bell last night.
Okay.
How you doing, boss?
Boss is fine.
Yes.
Boss is fine.
Most context, boss is fine.
Yeah.
Now, there was a guy at the gym, Planet Fitness, a little young guy. Sometimes you're walking around and you're both in the same path. And you have to kind of step around each other. And I said, "Excuse me," and the guy said, "You're good, boss." That's probably okay.
You're okay with that?
Probably.
Yeah.
I was at the time.
Making sure you're not upset. That's fine to me.
I think that's okay.
If he said "bud," you should stop and say, "Excuse me."
See, you make the differentiation.
Yeah, no, Bud is big.
It's interesting that you make that differentiation. Differentiation. Bud, sport, pal.
It's great. It's a great conversation.
Bud, sport, pal. No. Boss, meh.
Yeah, I can do it.
Boss doesn't bother me either.
I can deal with boss.
Yeah, boss doesn't bother me. I said right back to the Taco Bell, okay, boss, I'm doing good, boss.
Boss is fine.
Yeah.
Boss is harmless. Now, bud is when you get into
Bud.
There's some friends of mine from small towns that bud is a thing they call everybody. Everybody.
Oh.
Could be younger, could be older, and I've learned to accept that. It bothers me.
Uh-huh.
But I said this is how you grew
too.
up. This is how you've called everyone, whether it's a 95-year-old person or a 3-year-old kid, bud. So you call everyone that. It's not just me. You're not condescending to me. That's how you talk to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I forgive them.
Sport, pal. What else? Bud, you don't like. What's another one you don't like? Those are the main ones, right?
I'm okay with Chief.
Chief, I'm not okay with Chief.
All right, Chief.
No,
What's wrong with Chief?
I'm not okay.
I'm okay with Chief.
No. Why are you? No. I don't know. I'm with you on this. Boss does not bother me. Boss is kind of cool.
No one says sport, by the way. No one says, "Hey, sport." What's going on? That's like from the '60s or the '20s. Now I don't know what
I don't know. I still hear it sometimes.
I want to know who's calling people sports still, because Bud still is out there, and it still bothers me. And it still nails in the chalkboard.
Pal's probably the worst.
Pal's
right?
not great either.
Pal's probably
Pal's
the worst.
bad. Pal is bad.
Boss is very acceptable to me.
What about bro? That's
Pretty acceptable.
Matt says, I call John says, what about bro? And then Brett says, okay, brah.
Yeah, that's not for a 54-year-old.
Yeah. Oh, you're going down again. Wow. That's where we're just 55 or 56. Now it's 54, Josh. Every day, the age drops one here.
All right. We have
Studio.
established that boss is okay.
I'm okay with boss.
Bro is slightly worse than,
What about
bro's-
guy? Hey, guy.
No.
That sounds
No.
that's condescending.
Yeah.
Yep.
No. Guys is no go.
Sparky, come on, Sparky.
Spark.
No.
No.
Hey, Sparky.
No go.
You call me Sparky once in a while.
That-
All right, Sparky.
That's just a nod to your.
I know.
That's just a nod to your youth.
It is.
and your and you are.
I laugh at it.
Yeah, and you, and when I do say, there's definitely some condescension. There is.
Because you're usually yelling at me about something. Okay,
No, I'm
Sparky.
not. No.
All right, Sparky.
All right, boss.
All
right, boss.
is fine. Yeah, I
It is.
I
It's
think
fine.
we can agree that I have no problem if someone calls me or you boss, or us calling somebody else
Yeah.
boss. David from RenewYourAuto.com.
David, our man,
he-
our dude.
He says, Planet Fitness and Taco Bell in the same conversation. LOL.
It
Yeah.
is. Hey, I don't want to explain it, but yeah. I just had one crunchy taco
Oh, that's not much. Oh, that's even worse than getting 5 wings. Why even go? Why even go
because
for
the
one
person I
crunchy
was
taco?
with got 6,
And you had how
yeah,
many of
and
those
she-
6?
and I had 1.
So you had 2 tacos.
Yeah.
Total. Okay.
No, I had 1
You had 1 of the 6?
Yeah.
Why even go?
because it's hard.
Are you starving? Better go have that cake over
I
there.
did have a piece of cake.
Yeah, there's a
chocolate cake.
Mark brought in some cake from Easter yesterday, and
It's fabulous.
and that's going to be your breakfast, lunch, and dinner right there, pretty much.
No, I packed some. I got to go straight to practice, so I packed some nuts and raisins and beef jerky.
Are you a squirrel now, or what? Rabbit?
Boss?
Boss? Tiny Pig says pal. Can't do pal.
No.
Nope. The American Nightmare says sport is something a dad would call their son. My dad never called me sport, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. If a grown man calls you sport,
Hey, you sport.
hey, sport.
Yeah, I don't think my dad ever. I don't. I'm glad he never called me sport.
Your
I think
dad's
I
in the
did.
age range where he would call someone sport.
Yes, he is. Yeah, in his 60s. Yeah,
61.
that's the age you would call somebody a sport.
Sport was a thing when I was a kid. Okay, sport.
Yeah, I never got that.
If I get
never
that from
got it.
another man, it's not good. No.
Did you ever feel the same way about Bud before I made it a big deal?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I
did.
just made it, very
You just hit-
aware that hey, this
yeah.
is a problem.
This isn't happening. This isn't happening.
Headhunter says, "Hey, Slick." No one calls people Slick. Hey, Slick.
Slick's not the
This
worst.
is not the 60s here. That's probably the biggest time you had Slick, right? It's the 60s,
Probably.
maybe.
Yeah.
Slick back hair,
Mhm,
Slick.
mhm.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Thank you to all
I think
the
I
texters.
think that we've settled it. Boss is a new one, relatively new, and it's fine.
if someone calls me boss, I am not offended.
No, I'm
at
not-
all.
I'm not.
And again, I don't get offended by anything. I get bothered by Bud.
I think that
Not
boss,
offended.
boss, I almost
Bothered.
feel respect with boss.
I do too. Hey, boss, what's
Yeah.
going on, boss?
Yeah. God, good job.
Sounds good. So thank you. That's Idle Chit Chat sponsored by Newton's Lawn Care. Call them today at 440-6297 here in Lincoln. Anything else for Idle Chit Chat at all? Someone says champ. You okay with champ? Hey,
Hmm.
champ? No. Nope. Boss.
Champ, no.
Call me boss.
Champ, I'm out.
I'm out on champ.
You're way out on Bud. That's the critical part of this. You do not. Bud's not happening.
It's one of those things that one of my big pet peeves.
Oh, I
Bu-
get.
Bud
It. I
getting
can
called Bud.
100% agree with you.
And like I said, I have some friends that they call everyone Bud, so I'm included in that. And I just kind of
Mm,
I nod, but I don't like it.
No,
It
God.
bothers me.
non-starter for me. Isn't helping. Isn't happening.
Okay.
God, I know the question. Do you do that? I mean, do you ever
I don't
drop?
call anyone a Bud.
Do you ever
no.
drop on anybody?
Well, you saw me call someone Bud on Twitter one time. When
I
attacked-
did. I did. That was funny.
When you, I'm glad you
was
saw that
funny.
because
That was-
I never call anyone in the world a Bud. Anyone.
having-
And if I do, I'm like, why'd you do
you
that?
went
That
at
was-
him pretty hard.
If I call someone Bud, I hate that I did it. Like
Yeah.
this, I don't want to be called Bud. Why are you
Right.
calling that kid Bud
Yeah.
or that guy Bud?
Right.
So if you see it on Twitter, it's intentional. Like, yeah, I'm attacking you basically without attacking you.
Right. Bud.
because you came at me first.
Pal is very close to Bud.
You came at me first. So,
If you drop a pal at the end of a sentence on somebody, it's not good.
all right, pal.
There you go. That was
See?
Bo Pelini. Bo Pelini used
All
to
right,
drop
pal.
pals.
It's
He used to drop pals.
you don't want the pal. You
Uh-uh.
Don't want to be pal. Don't want to be pal.
All right, pal.
All right, moving on. We've got this is one of Sip's favorite days of the year, and I'll tell you why. Because Sip, as you know, everyone knows, loves coaching lists. He loves lists in general, players,
I do.
Guessing where teams will finish in the conference. But today, via Pro Football Focus, PFF, we have our first of the year top 25 coaches list. And I sent this to Sip, and he texted back yesterday saying, "Oh my God, I can't wait for 6 a.m. tomorrow."
It's a beautiful thing because it puts everything in perspective in college. Not everything, but a lot of things in perspective in college football. Because these, Jake, Bud,
No,
God,
No.
are the
Josh, no. No, Bud. No, Bud.
Joshua are the power brokers. These are the dudes that are riding high. Go ahead, Jake, set it up.
All right. So Pro Football Focus has put out their top 25 coaches. And we'll preface this by saying you thought it was a good list. You thought the list was good.
Pretty good, yeah. Pretty good.
I thought the list was okay. And now I'll give you guys a hint. Matt Rule is on the list.
Let's not say where.
I'm not going to say where until we get there.
He's
but
in the top 25.
Matt Rule is considered a top 25 head coach by Pro Football Focus. Pro Football Focus. So
that is good news.
here is your list of top 25 coaches. See,
How do you want to do it? Do you want to go bottom to top or top to bottom?
Maybe we go bottom to top.
That might be kind of fun. We can rip through
Okay.
some of these.
Well, bottom to top, you're gonna hear the name Matt Rule off the bat because Matt Rule per Pro Football Focus is the number 25 head coach in the country.
Yes. And the last paragraph is the kind of paragraph that you kind of almost forget this is the case. Once a powerhouse, the Cornhuskers have gone 6 straight seasons without making a bowl game. That doesn't hit you, but this one did. And 16 years without a New Year's 6 bowl game appearance. I don't think of that streak very often, but that hit me yesterday at Shoemakers. And 16 years with, my God. Okay, Matt Rule.
Number 25.
Yes.
This one's going to hurt a little bit too because of Nebraska's situation with the school previously. Number 24 on the list is Jonathan Smith, the head coach at Oregon State. Now, again, Mike Riley came from Oregon State, and they've overcame that. They have been just fine with Jonathan Smith. 10-3 last year with the blowout win against Florida in their bowl game. Sip.
Jonathan Smith, number 24 in the Pro Football Focus coaches rankings. 23 is
23 is your boy, Mike Norvell at Florida State, who comes off a good year. We're seeing some top 5, top 10 preseason picks for Florida State this upcoming season.
Yes, it was last year was the Seminoles' first 10-win season since Jimbo was in charge in 2016. That was the first winning record last year for Florida State in 5 years. Norvell is an example of someone that I don't know belongs on this list. He's not my boy, as you characterized it. I don't know that
You love Florida State, though.
Yeah, I don't know that he belongs on this list.
I think he does. He went
Do
10-3
you?
last year.
Well, then come on.
Should Jonathan Smith be on this list then? Are there people missing you think that should be ahead of Mike Norvell that aren't on there from your assessment?
Well,
of the
I
list?
just don't think a 1-10-win season.
That's fair, but they're seen
Should
as a
do
top 10 preseason team, so they're going. It's a projection also for Mike Norvell. 22. This guy might be too low.
Little low.
Dave Clawson at Wake Forest, and we all know that Dave Clawson's done a great job there. Now he's going to be in his 10th season now. He's 59 and 53 there, but Sip, the last 2 seasons, a combined 19 and 8, and they finished inside the top 15 of the AP poll for the first time in school history in 2021.
Right. And that was a horrible program that he's made.
Terrible.
Good. 21.
21 is Chip Kelly at UCLA, a new member of the Big Ten as of 2024.
Yes.
Last year in the Pac-12. The last 2 years, 17 and 8 is Chip Kelly at UCLA.
He has the number 2 overall recruit in the class of 2023 coming to play for him, and Dante Moore.
That helps.
The number 2 overall recruit. He has a big-time quarterback coming. Chip Kelly might have it rolling. 20.
Willie Fritz, who comes off a massive season, including a big comeback victory in their bowl game against USC in the Cotton Bowl. Willie Fritz at Tulane, 12-2 last season, AAC title champions, and again, Cotton Bowl champions. First New Year's Six Bowl win since 1934 for Tulane last year.
19.
Mike Gundy, Oklahoma State.
Here's the deal with him. He's won at least, Gundy has won at least 10 games in 7 of his last 13 seasons and finished in the top 10 twice in that span. That is not all that impressive to me that they've only finished in the top 10 twice in 13 seasons.
He's still a top 25 coach. He has to be on this list. Has to.
Because of his consistency.
Right. Consistency counts.
One losing season, and that was his first one.
Yeah.
18 years. That's 17 straight years of winning seasons. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yep. 18, Mark Stoops at Kentucky.
Yawn.
Got a big raise.
Yawn.
Yeah, it's a yawner, but he does a good job there.
It just gets us to a non-yawn.
Number 17 is Jimbo Fisher, who you thought was too low on the list. I said I think he's probably where he should be because what was our pre-show argument that I had a response for?
Jimbo has a national title ring.
Which I said, so does Gene Chizik. Gene Chizik, who is not in the game anymore, hasn't been for a while, has a national championship at Auburn.
Let's not compare Jimbo to Gene Chizik. I mean, if you stack the records up, they're not even close. I mean, Jimbo's way better. Okay. First of all, let's not do that.
How many years was Jimbo there before after Bobby Bowden was gone?
Several.
Okay.
I don't know the number off the top of my head, but he come on.
They went 5-7 last year at A&M. They missed a bowl game. They were a preseason top 10 team. Went 5-7.
He also brought in arguably the greatest recruiting class ever.
How'd that pan out for
in
him?
2020? Well, they were freshmen. How about okay, hold on, bud.
No. All right, sport. Look at Josh is getting uncomfortable over there. Look at his eyes.
Josh is okay.
Josh is uncomfortable.
Hey, I mean, don't you give the guy credit for what would we do in this market if Nebraska somehow brought in 8 5-star players?
Well, we'd freak out.
Yeah. And we'd say the coach is the best in the
And
world.
what if that team went 5-7 that same year, though?
But it's you wouldn't worry. You wouldn't worry because you'd say we got all these guys coming.
That's what you tell yourself that. You tell yourself that. Number 16, a guy that had a great year last year, Chris Kleiman.
See, Fisher should be ahead of Klein.
I disagree right now. As of right now, this moment, I disagree.
Yes, right
We're
now.
going over all time, sure, but this is a 2023 list of coaches.
No, it's not just based on right now. It's based on your resume. Jimbo's resume is way better than Kleiman's. I mean,
his team went 5-7
are you
last year.
seriously taking Kleiman over Jimbo?
Right now?
Straight up.
In 2023?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Oh,
I am.
God, give me a break.
Jimbo Fisher has failed at A&M so far.
He's on the hot seat.
Yeah, so why? Text line 464-5685. Would you take right now at this moment Jimbo Fisher or Chris Kleiman as your head coach?
I'm taking Jimbo, and it's not even close.
464-5685.
Who's going to recruit? Who's going to who's going to get you the better
I want
players?
development. I want guys that get the job done, and Kleiman develops.
See, I mean, yeah, you have an 8-win mentality. Jimbo doesn't have an 8-win mentality.
K-State won more than 8 games last year. They won 10 or 11 games last year, won the conference, beat TCU, who's in the championship game.
That's
by
problem,
the way.
though. That's the problem. It's a problem around here. You want development and little cute stories.
Kleiman, obviously, texture says.
You need a dude who's going to bring in the dudes, okay? 5-star players, not 3-star players that you can
don't
develop.
Get 5 stars at Kansas State. Put Jimbo at K-State. He might get some 5 stars there.
Probably would.
Put Kleiman at A&M. He's probably getting 5 stars there.
Okay, you just answered your own question. You put Jimbo at K-State, he's probably getting 5-star.
Does that mean he's going to win, though? Does that mean does that turn into wins?
Well, he's got a national title ring, so he knows what
so
he's
does
doing.
Gene Chizik. Larry Coker's got a title ring also.
Well, those guys were good coaches. Cheesick, not so much.
Mostly, there's some Jimbo answers, but it's about 85%.
You
Kleiman.
really, if you were starting, I don't even believe you. I mean,
You should.
if you were
believe me.
starting a program right now, you would take Jimbo. You would take Kleiman over Jimbo. You can say that with a straight face.
In 2023, yeah, I would. In 2015, I'm taking Jimbo.
Well, Jimbo hasn't changed.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. He's not as good of a coach as he was in 2015.
Kleiman had a losing season in 2020.
That was the COVID year.
Yeah.
COVID year.
Where's Bill when I need him?
COVID
All right,
year.
15.
15. Kalen DeBoer
Interesting
from
one.
Sioux Falls
Interesting.
at Washington.
Now, Caitlin DeBoer. Now you're starting to get into these guys. You're gonna see some more in this realm that came to a place and whipped it around quickly. The Huskies were 4-8 in 2021. Okay, 4-8. They hired DeBoer from Fresno State, and what did they do? 11-2, and 8th in the AP poll. Okay, brilliant offensive mind. Now here's what's going to happen here, and this is going to become the theme. You're going to find all these guys who went into places that were in bad shape and whipped it around quick. It doesn't have to be always a slow build.
Right.
Lance Leipold, what'd he do? Number 14.
Quickly, yeah. Went from 3-9 to 6-7 last year. Made a bowl game in his second year at lowly Kansas.
He's number 14.
And that's a deserved 14 for Lance Leipold.
And you know my feelings about Lance, but once again, I'm taking Jimbo. You know my feelings. Once again, I'm taking Jimbo.
What makes a coach great? Is his ability to win games or his ability to recruit?
Well, Jimbo can do both. He's demonstrated it.
Well, it's been a while in football.
Oh, God.
For winning. It's been a while.
Lane
Kiffin at 13 at Ole Miss.
What is the theme? Ole Miss was a combined 20-28 in its 4 seasons, 20 and 28 in its 4 seasons before hiring Lane in 2020. In the last 2 years, the Rebels have gone 18-8 in one of the toughest divisions in the country. All right. Quickly turned it around. That's what the great ones do. Sonny Dykes.
Number 12, Sonny Dykes. First year at TCU results in a national championship game loss to Georgia, 65-7.
What did he do?
But they were 5-7 the year before he got there, and he makes them go. They go 12-0. They lose to Kansas State though in the Big 12 title game, but still make the playoff. Beat Michigan. No, they beat Michigan, and then they go and lose to Georgia.
11
is Josh Heupel at Tennessee.
Theme continues. Before he took over, Tennessee was a sub 500 team in 3 of the previous 4 seasons. Okay. Before he took over, the Volunteers were sub 500 in 3 of the previous 4 seasons. What happened? They go 11-2 last year, 6th in the AP poll.
Number 1 in scoring in the nation.
In his second year.
46.1 points.
It was his second year. What did he do? He whipped it around quickly.
They beat Alabama last year.
He didn't make excuses. These guys just go in and do it. Okay?
That was 11 wins for the first time since 2001.
Right. He went in and did it.
Crazy.
He had Hendon Hooker.
Yep. That
helped a lot. Great receivers. Terrible pass defense. Awful.
Oh, now it's going bad.
but 11 wins.
Number 10.
Okay, now we're in the top 10.
Top 10. James Franklin at Penn State, who had a quietly very, very good year last season.
And you know what he has this year? A 5-star quarterback, Drew Aller. Okay. A 5-star quarterback in Drew Aller. Now.
They had an impressive bowl win against Utah in the Rose Bowl.
He has, think about this. And it's too quiet around him. He has 4 11-win seasons since 2016. So during that period that Nebraska's really been mired in a slump, Franklin has whipped off 4 11-win seasons too quietly. He doesn't get enough credit.
He doesn't.
Now he had back-to-back bad seasons, but
and don't forget, I know this is it's all about wins and losses, but his 2 losses to Michigan and Ohio State, they led at halftime both those games, or they were right there at halftime. Now, the second half got away from them, but 2 losses, that's it. And they were right there against 2 great teams.
Franklin at 10. So we're in the top 10. 9.
Number 9 is Luke Fickell at Wisconsin,
Okay.
coming from Cincinnati. So Matt Rule's at 25. Luke Fickell's at number 9 per Pro Football Focus.
Fickell seems a little high on this list. No.
Seems a little high to me. I'd put him probably more like in the 15, 16,
Yeah.
17 range. Too high.
Fickell at 9. I mean, he gets a lot of run because he took Cincinnati to the college football playoff, the first group of 5 team to do so.
Number 8, Kyle Whittingham at Utah. Love Kyle Whittingham. Great coach.
Back-to-back Pac-12 championships.
Yep. Hard to argue against that one, right? At 8.
I know.
They had some injuries that hurt them in that Rose Bowl game, and they were down to a backup quarterback at that point. So
they're knocking on the door of the college football
They
playoff.
were.
That's what they want to do.
they
now.
beat USC. That was a big win. for
Now
them.
Ryan Day at
Ryan
7.
Day is number 7. They have lost to Michigan back-to-back years now. Did not win the title of the conference, obviously, those years, but they were in the playoff this past year, and they almost beat Georgia. Played great in that game.
I know.
Defense failed them, but the offense was great against Georgia. Kicker missed the kick that would have won the game, and Georgia moves on to win the championship game. But Ryan Day at 7.
Now Michigan is in his craw, right? If he doesn't get that monkey off his back this year, the Wolverines,
3 straight.
there's going to be, as Pro Football Focus points out, some uncomfortable conversations in Columbus.
You can't lose 3 strate times to Michigan if you're
No.
Ohio State.
No, because you're not going to
You
win.
owned them for a long time.
You're not going to win 10.
Number 6, Brian Kelly at LSU.
Drop him anywhere in the world, and he'll make the place work.
He wins. He's a winner.
And he did it. Again, the theme. The theme. Kelly took over a program at LSU that was below 500 in 2021 and won 10 games in an SE West title. Okay, why are these coaches able to do it? Why? I mean, they come in and they're no nonsense dudes.
They figure it out. They have a plan. They have a strategy, and it works. I don't know. We're not in those rooms to know what it is, but something clicks there for them.
That makes them what they are.
That's
And
right.
it's amazing.
Brian Kelly wins. Cincinnati, Notre Dame, LSU. He wins.
Lincoln Riley. Now we're in the top 5.
Who, by the way, I don't know if you saw this yesterday. Lincoln Riley has a new assistant on offense. It's Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh
Cliff
God.
Kingsbury joining the staff at USC as of last night.
Is he going to work from Thailand?
I don't know. There's jokes about Thailand for Cliff Kingsbury, but he's coming back to work for Lincoln Riley on that USC staff.
As a what?
I think he's quarterback's coach.
Really?
Yes.
Ugh.
As of last night, Cliff Kingsbury is coming back to USC to help as
You're
an
kidding
offensive
me.
coach.
You're kidding
I'm
me.
not kidding you.
That's a pretty far fall from NFL head coach.
Well, he's trying to pick himself back up here. Maybe he belongs in the college game more than NFL. Although
Well, sure.
he didn't do great at Texas Tech, though. He didn't really excel at Texas Tech on his way to the NFL.
Dang,
He's
that's
very
fascinating.
average there.
That's fascinating.
So Lincoln Riley, number 5. Number 4, Dabo Swinney at Clemson. It's about right.
Okay, well, I mean, there's some people are going to say, why is he 4 and not 3?
Because Jim Harbaugh's number 3 per this Pro Football Focus list of best coaches.
Now, some people are going to dispute that. Not me.
I'm fine with Michigan at number Harbaugh at 3 right now. I'm fine with that. Fine with that.
How about Harbaugh?
So yeah, Swinney 4, Jim Harbaugh 3, number 2 Kirby Smart, and number 1 Nick Saban. That's your top 25.
Saban. This is interesting what Pro Football Focus writes, and I kind of think this about Jimbo. It goes in line with our conversation about Jimbo. Right now, you would say you take Kirby right now, based on what he's done right now.
Sure.
It's not about right now. It's not all about right now.
Well,
Here's what Pro Football Focus says. While there's certainly a conversation brewing between Saban and the next coach on this list, Kirby Smart, the Alabama leader gets the nod for being the greatest college football coach of all time.
Can't fight that. Jimbo's not nowhere near that. He's got
I
one
know,
title.
but they're basing it largely on Saban's past, which if you look at Jimbo's past compared to Chris Kleiman, I mean, what are we talking about?
Well, then Gene Chizik's in that conversation too. Where's he at now?
No. He shouldn't be in that
won a
conversation.
championship?
Do you want me to do this? Do you want me to look at Chizik's record compared to Jimbo's? Do you really want me to do this? Do you want me to go there?
No, I don't. But
yeah, you don't.
I'm just saying that Jimbo Fisher's lost his fastball, as you would say sometimes.
He's lost a little on his fastball.
A lot.
Yeah.
That fastball is getting hit right now.
Yeah, he's lost a little.
It's not moving.
Steam.
It's slower, and it's getting hit for home runs.
Yeah, he's
left
testy
and
right now too. I've watched a lot of his press conferences down there this spring. He's testy right now.
So
he's not in good humor at all.
Well, they went 5-7 last year. Pressure's on.
He's not in good humor.
So some coaches that are not on the list that you might think could be in contention. There's no. If you think about the Big Ten, there's a lot of good coaches in this conference. There was no Kirk Ferentz. Ferentz not in the top 25.
Ferentz. Let's think about this for a second. Ferentz not in the top 25.
That's probably
Norvell is.
Yeah, I think you got to put Kirk in there. I'm sorry. Consistency. You like you said, Norvell. He had one good year.
Now hold on. You're starting to do that again.
Kirk Ferentz has been pretty. Ferentz has been pretty consistent there.
Okay.
Pretty consistent.
Yeah.
I was playing for a Big Ten title game 2 years ago. Got blasted by Michigan 40-3, but they were playing in the title game 2 years ago.
One way to settle it in your mind is play the who are you taking game. Are you taking Norvell or Ferentz?
Depends where I'm at.
Yeah, that's true.
What am I in the Big Ten? Or
if I'm in the Big Ten, I'm surely
taking Ferentz.
Yeah, Norvell was a receivers coach. That's what he was.
Yeah, I'm not taking Norvell. If I'm in the ACC.
Yeah, are you taking Clausen or Ferentz?
Where at?
ACC.
Clausen.
I don't know.
But it's a conversation, and they're both. Clausen's 22nd these rankings.
Who else in the Big Ten didn't make it that should in your met?
Brett Bielema didn't make the list.
Oh.
PJ Fleck didn't make the list.
Whoa. How is Bielema not on here?
Brett Bielema turned around. Illinois was right there to potentially win the division in his second season after being mired in crap for years. Brett Bielema should be in the top 25.
Who are you taking, Jonathan Smith or Bielema? Not even close.
Smith had a good year.
Not even close. I'm taking Bielema.
If I'm in the Big Ten, I'm taking Bielema. If I'm in a different conference, I'm not so sure. Bielema didn't exactly excel in the SEC in Arkansas.
No, he didn't.
He's a Big Ten coach. If we're talking Big Ten, I'm taking Bielema. If it's other conferences, I'll consider Smith in that conversation.
Okay.
So, no PJ Fleck in Minnesota. Pretty consistent here recently. That's kind of the ones you kind of say, those ones aren't on there.
Yeah. Rule gets some respect here. I like it. I do like it. I mean, let's see what now here's the thing though. And I know what I've been saying. Look at these guys high on the list, what they did. They went in and whipped it around quick. Look what Kim Mulkey did at Baylor. They were 9-13 2 years ago. LSU. Excuse me. Yes. Look what Mulkey did. But Mulkey's that coach like Pitino, right? If you dropped Mulkey at pick a team, Kansas State, we'll pick your favorite school, Kansas State. What would Mulkey do at Kansas State? They'd be in the top 10 quickly.
They'd win.
Yeah. Some of these
Bob
coaches
Huggins won at Kansas State.
Yeah,
remember that?
These coaches have the it factor. They don't make excuses. They just go in and do it. And that's the separator. Now people are going to listen to me and think, okay, see, this is what listen to Sipley's setting up Rule here. No, I'm not. I'm not necessarily doing that. But I believe Rule can get it done quick. I do. I mean, he doesn't strike me as an excuse maker. He doesn't strike me as someone who's in his head, that he's going to listen to the fans and all the psychological mumbo jumbo that you hear in this market. He strikes me as a guy who's just got to come in and do it. All right. And that's look at what these guys did. Look at all these guys we went through. Heupel just went in and did it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Look at the list. Just look at
Kalen DeBoer.
Kalen DeBoer just went in and
Brian Kelly.
They were 4-8 at Washington.
Yep.
Brian Kelly, LSU was a losing program. 1 year, boom, 10 wins. Why is it?
Sonny Dykes.
Stay out of your head. Yeah, Sonny Dykes. Stay out of your head. Why do you talk yourself into this?
Lance Leipold.
Oh, we can't do it. Lance Leipold. No, we can't do it. Yeah, no, you can do it. There's a lot of examples of you can do it. Stay out of your head. I mean,
Stay out of your head.
Yeah.
That's the goal. That's the mission here. Stay out of your head, coaches. You don't need a 7-year runway, as Kent Lincoln says on the text line. We thought you did.
Wow,
You don't need a 7-year
bought
runway.
into that,
we
though,
bought
didn't
into
we?
crap, didn't we? Bought into crap. More next on Early Break from the Ticket.
For great views, go to Kansas. For unforgettable views of action-packed racing, go to Kansas. NASCAR Weekend, May 6th and 7th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Lincoln Earth Day is on Saturday, April 15th at UNL's Innovation Campus. Green vehicles, local foods, live music, and fun family-friendly activities from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sponsored by Johanna Rhodes Real Estate. More event details at rhoadshomes.com.
This is Jay Foreman. For gear to protect my health from the field and protect by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Get up to date while it's still free and stay protected. Learn more at healthylincoln.org.
There's a new way to vacay when you fly LNK. Check out brand new service at the Lincoln Airport to some of America's favorite travel destinations. Catch convenient nonstop flights to Vegas, Atlanta, Minneapolis, Orlando, Austin, Dallas, or Nashville when you fly via Redway. With so many affordable options to choose from, planning your vacation has never been easier. Visit goflyred.com and book today. Flights are public charters offered by Global X Air Tours LLC and operated by Global Crossing Airlines Incorporated.
It's April, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Are you worried about storm issues with your basements? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. A free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. Ep Foundation Repair. We fix basements.
What's with all the we're going to a baseball game?
They're for the 7th inning scratch.
You mean the 7th inning stretch?
Hey, you can stretch if you want. I'm scratching.
Starting a new baseball tradition?
Sure. Why not add even more excitement to the game? Check out all these fun tickets. And I could win thousands between innings.
I suppose the next thing you'll do is change Take Me Out to the Ball Game to Take Me Out to a Nebraska Lottery retailer.
Buy me some peanuts and scratch tickets. Play is go. Odds vary by game.
Hello, Talking Deer here. I want to take this time to thank the Nebraska Lottery. Since 1993, Nebraska Lottery proceeds, over $900 million, have gone to its beneficiaries, including the environment. And since I'm out here in the field every day, I see it firsthand, or first hoof, I guess.
Who are you talking to, dear?
Oh, I was just thanking the Nebraska Lottery and all the people who play for supporting the Nebraska environment.
That's nice, dear.
Nebraska Lottery. 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
Let me share something to make life just a little easier. It's just one word, Bryant. If we need service on our furnace or AC, we call Bryant. Same thing goes for an electrical issue. If I have a problem with my faucet, a toilet, a drain, or a water heater, I don't need to know how to fix something. I just need to know who to call. And at our house, it's Bryant.
Bryant's Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Just one call. 467-1111. Remember, we do whatever it takes.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and Ben offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I have put a Twitter poll out there for the first time in a long time.
You did?
Yes.
When did you sneak? Did you?
I did it during the commercial break. Thank you very much. You are tagged in this tweet also.
Okay. What is the poll?
What do you think the poll is?
Oh God, would you take Kleiman over Jimbo?
Here was the direct quote, the direct tweets
Okay.
with the options. I'm not. This is very unbiased the way I said.
You're coming at me here, aren't you?
No, I said this. Important question for the show.
Okay.
Which coach would you want right now running your college football program? I said Chris Kleiman or Jimbo Fisher.
That's good.
There's no bias
no,
on
you're
me
fine.
attached there.
You're fine on that. There's no
I just
bias.
put it out there. I'll get results here in a second.
There's some recency bias because Kleiman obviously had his watershed. Is that what you say? Watershed
Mm-hmm.
year last year. And Jimbo's coming off a bad year.
Why do we just dismiss recency though?
I'm not.
The guy did
I'm
it.
not. I'm
the
not.
guy is winning in today's day and age just fine.
I'm not dismissing recency at all.
You said recency bias, which
But
is
there'll be some of that.
It's a real thing.
Yeah, there'll be some of that with this poll.
Which is I'm fine with the recency bias for why you believe that Mike Norvell should not be in the top 25. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
He had one good year. He's been bad before that.
Mhm.
He could probably not be in the top 25, and I would be fine.
I guess.
And put Ferentz in there instead.
Would you say, based on our conversation, that I look a little bit more at body of work than you do, and you're more apt to take a coach who's on a heater?
Well, I think that over the last few years, Kleiman's been a better coach than Jimbo Fisher.
I don't know. What would Kleiman do at A&M?
Chris Kleiman does more with
What would
less.
Kleiman do at A&M? These are tough conversations, though, because it's
That is, yeah, I don't
there
know.
are no.
I
Here's
don't know.
why. Because it's about a lot of these conversations are about fit. Did Nebraska get the right fit in Rule? I thought Jimbo was the right fit at A&M. I can tell you that Kleiman would be a fish out of water at A&M with those big boosters and all that program entails. Right?
Right.
A lot of this is about fit.
He wouldn't take that job.
The correct answer to your poll is not. It's not a simple answer. It's depends on where you're talking. Now, I would say this about Jimbo. Jimbo, you could see this is maybe the separator. Okay, get ready.
I'm ready.
You listening?
I'm listening. Yes.
You could drop Jimbo just about anywhere and say he's got a good chance to win there. I don't know if you'd say that about Kleiman. There you go. I mean, I'm
Jimbo
not dropping.
can recruit anywhere, that's for
Yeah.
sure. But something's off with his roster
Yeah.
development.
Yeah, something's
Management.
off. I mean,
Something's off there. Something's wrong with
well,
Jimbo.
Quarterback, I think, has been an issue.
And these
QB.
are all they're getting high-rated quarterbacks. So
But do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
You drop Jimbo at Toledo, and it's probably going to go pretty well. You might Kleiman at Toledo might be a fit. I'm like if you drop Kleiman at South Florida. I don't know, Jake. I don't know how that's going to work.
He wins there.
Mm.
He wins.
Maybe.
Early update. 100 votes in so far.
Okay, how's it looking?
What do you want to guess for percentage?
I'm
here?
guessing Kleiman 70-30.
How about 87% Kleiman? And you would agree that the way I worded that was not biased,
no,
right?
It's not biased.
I tried to word that in a
this
very
is just
fair way.
Discouraging. This is just discouraging. Don't let it send me into a tizzy. Get the button ready.
Now it's 88%.
Stop. Do you have the button ready?
I got it ready.
Take it easy.
You need it right now?
No, I don't need it right now.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Deep breath.
Don't let the sound of your own heels drive you crazy.
Deep breaths.
Life is tough while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place to make your stand. Take it easy.
You don't know Jimbo. You don't know Jimbo. You're not friends with Jimbo. You defend Jimbo, but you don't know him
You
at
know
all.
who needs? No, they need to do that for Jimbo. They do.
Take it easy?
Oh God,
Hey,
his first
Jimbo, take a breath, buddy.
his spring press conference, his first press conference of the spring. I watched. God, it was uncomfortable. They needed to play that.
John says, "Take it easy, bud." The OG CJ says, "I just opened up Twitter for the first time in months to vote against Tip on this poll."
Oh, come on. lot of recency bias here.
There is. I do not deny
Jimbo's
that.
coming off
I'm
the
not
rough here.
denying that comment at all.
I just know if I'm starting, I get Nebraska. I'm taking Jimbo.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Climate's tough. I like Climate.
Kleiman at Nebraska would be a great fit. I remember I pounded on the table for Kleiman for this job.
I know, but Jimbo at Nebraska would be a good fit too, though.
I don't know about that.
Well, you're going to get big time recruits here. That's all I'm saying. Now you're going to try to win Kleiman with some, spunky teams with 3-star guys.
What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that?
Well, you just take yourself out of the national championship hunt then.
Kansas State,
and probably take yourself out of the Big Ten.
Kansas State beat the team that lost the championship game this year. They beat them in the conference title game.
What was the championship game?
It was ugly.
Score?
It was ugly, but that team also beat Michigan the game before
Cute
that.
stories. That's what we're into here. No, I mean, you got to go get 5-star players and 4-star players. Kleiman's not going to
TCU beat Michigan this year to
Come
go to the
on.
title game.
Come on. Don't limit yourself. You said the words.
Jimbo's.
You said the words. I'll take 3-star guys.
I said if he wins, yes.
Oh, God. You're
the guy that hates recruiting conversations.
You'll win to a certain extent, but you're not. You just take yourself out of the big game.
There's steps here at this point.
Oh God!
And if we're trying to try
here
to
you go.
bypass
Here
all
you
the
go.
steps
Here
to
you
become
go.
a national championship contender, I can't
Here you
live
go.
in that world.
Here you go. You've lived in that world.
I don't live in that world. No. Have I in the past? Maybe. Yes, I've grown the last
No
6
hope
years
with
of
you.
no hope. Well, we're going to have to save our topic for down the road here.
Okay.
We're out of
We're
time.
going to talk about spring games this week.
John said to play the music again for you. I almost did. I almost played Take It Easy twice in a 4-minute span.
Now,
there.
when are we going to get back to? Can we do this tomorrow?
Yeah, with Bill maybe.
The spring games
Yes.
upcoming this weekend
Talk with Bill with that tomorrow.
are pretty alluring.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of pretty interesting games this weekend. Scrimmages, not games. Scrimmages. We're going to talk about that tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Song of the day and bugaboos for Sips Tips is next on Early Break on the Ticket.
Okay, bud.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
What's with all the Nebraska Lottery scratch tickets? We're going to a baseball game.
They're for the 7th inning scratch.
You mean the 7th inning stretch?
Hey, you can stretch if you want. I'm scratching.
Starting a new baseball tradition?
Sure. Why not add even more excitement to the game? Check out all these fun tickets, and I could win thousands between innings.
I suppose the next thing you'll do is change Take Me Out to the Ball Game to Take Me Out to a Nebraska Lottery retailer.
Buy me some peanuts and scratch tickets.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Hello, Talking Deer here. I want to take this time to thank the Nebraska Lottery. Since 1993, Nebraska Lottery proceeds, over $900 million, have gone to its beneficiaries, including the environment. And since I'm out here in the field every day, I see it firsthand, or first hoof, I guess.
Who are you talking to, dear?
Oh, I was just thanking the Nebraska Lottery and all the people who play for supporting the Nebraska environment.
That's nice, dear.
The Nebraska Lottery. 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. At Foundation Repair, we fix basements.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior. You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit, and you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour, an opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit-SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're
No,
a big tough?
never feel like an
If
idiot.
you're a big tough guy this morning,
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music.
on an issue that did not think would generate this discussion.
For Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93 Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Song of the day from 1968. It's a Beautiful Morning by the Rascals. 464-56851 is bad. 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day. Once again, your song of the day, It's a Beautiful Morning by the Rascals from 1968. 464-56851 is bad. 10 is good texture rating on the Sauter Haven Jewelers song of the day.
Jimmy Nee. That is, my God. There's only one thing lacking in that song. Wouldn't you think that song would have birds chirping in the background at some
Go
point?
ahead, try.
Something in the background at some point, birds chirping. But it's
one time, Josh, this show before you hear during COVID, when there was no sports for 6 months, we did bird sounds for a segment.
We tried to do
legendary
bird sounds.
segment.
We tried to do bird sounds. Cheep, cheep.
We had just had Sean Callahan on the previous hour. He was in the backyard or the back deck, and we could hear birds chirping. So we decided to have a bird chirp off at 7:00 in COVID.
Okay, that was the Rascals and from 1968.
Got
It's a
it.
beautiful morning. You can't go below a 9. I'm gonna go 9.2. 9.2.
What do you think Bill would give that?
It's hard to tell. He says that I give out that I'm a little too generous with my grading. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna say that's a 9.2. He says I'm too generous.
Well,
so what would Bill give it? I'd say an 8.5.
Yeah, I think probably an 8 flat.
I don't know. I'm not gonna try to guess where it. He closes his eyes and goes back to somewhere. I don't know where he.
Where'd you go to, Bill?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know where he went.
Some ratings here. Harper, a 1. Harper's dad, a 5.
Harper.
It is not a beautiful morning for Harper, apparently.
Harper.
It's not a beautiful morning. It is. It's actually very nice outside. It's a good song for today. It actually is a beautiful
This
morning.
week is
outside.
beautiful, yeah.
Rod says that's an 8. Bird in Columbus. Bird in Columbus. Thanks, Bill. That's a 1 from him.
Could you do that one more time?
Bird.
That was better. Good job.
John and Fremont, a 2. Doug and Lincoln, a 6. Guilt Nerd, an 8.2.
Okay.
5 from John. 9.5 from Chance the Texture.
Hi, Chance.
We got Ella, 5-year-old Ella, 10.
Ella.
And Ella's dad, a 6.4.
Thank you. The Ella household.
Mark.
Ella gave that a 10.
Yeah, at 5 years old.
5 years old.
Mark in Woodland Hills, a 9.38.
Please keep in mind, Jake, that we have 5-year-olds listening and that you should gear your comments accordingly.
Okay.
It should be no problem for you.
Yeah, I speak 5-year-old language every day. That's what I do. Jennifer, 8.5. Hubby, 7. And he says, out walking, it is beautiful right now.
Oh, birds chirping.
It is. There are birds chirping.
Out walking.
Yep.
And listening.
Tom in Apalachicola, 5.
Great area.
6.8 from Everett. Nate and Lincoln, an 8. Jay Stu, a 6.7. Pat and Waverly, a 7. Casey and Topeka, an 8.5. Thunder, not Collins, 8.8.
Oh, Thunder liked it.
And a 10. And a Phil. Phil says a 5 and 8.7 from Bolt today.
You've done a good job lately of staying out of that early 2000s range.
It's coming back. It's coming back.
Stay out of the 90s. You're okay. Stay out of the 90s or early 2000s. You're generally okay. You get yourself into problems when you go into those regions.
Well, it's going to come back at some point.
Oh,
I have
God,
to.
just
I gotta hit
stop.
all, I
Don't
have to
do
hit
it.
all
Why?
the decades.
You only live once. Why put yourself through bad music?
Because I have to respect all the decades.
No,
That's
you
why.
don't.
Yeah, I do.
No.
Except for the current one. I don't do that. I don't play music that's new anymore. You know,
Don't even try it.
I told you I used to have Alt Nation in my car. It's horrible now. I mean,
Ouch.
it's awful. It's
Ouch.
terrible.
Ouch. Yes.
I took it off my preset like a year ago because it was garbage. It's horrible. Like I know all
You're
this
gonna
supposed to
have
be
to-
weird. It's terrible though.
You're gonna have to take it easy now.
No, before we get to bugaboos for sips tips in place of Bill's Thrills today, I need to legalize this real
Please
quick.
do.
Hang on 1 second here.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, without further ado, Bill is back tomorrow. So Bill's Thrills will return tomorrow. But in the meantime, it's been Sips Tips. And today we know is Bugaboos for Bill. And so today's sip, you get to do Bugaboos, sponsored by Mid-Plains Advisors, Dirk, Scott, and Ty, your contacts for all your financial needs. Bill's Thrills, a.k.a. Sips Tips, Bugaboos, Tuesday. Go ahead.
This is
The floor is yours.
this is fitting for the time because the weather's turned warmer, so a lot of motorcycles are out.
Right.
And I don't know if you notice this. But if you, after I tell you, you will probably look and see that it's a very real thing. It's a very real thing all over. I got to say the U.S. I don't know if it goes beyond our borders or not. But when you're on a motorcycle, it doesn't matter the kind of motorcycle. When you see a motorcycle coming towards you on your motorcycle, you drop the V. You drop the reverse peace sign down. That it's an acknowledgement that everybody's basically does. Some don't, and that's the bugaboo. Whenever somebody doesn't, your thought process is, what the hell is your deal? That, like, what's the deal? Now, there's times where I don't know, you got to have your left hand on the clutch, and if it's a left hand situation, I just go with the right hand up, wave with my right hand. But there's got to be an acknowledgement if it's if traffic is clear and all that. And if it doesn't happen, that's a huge bugaboo for me. Little things like that typically don't bother me. It was hard for me to come up with a bugaboo because I'm not really bothered by that much. I'm not, especially at this point in my life.
Do you hit 100% in terms of your peace signs or waving?
No, there are times I got to admit that I got my mind on something else and I see the guy coming at me and he's by me and I'm like, oh God, I didn't get it done. And I feel kind of bad. There are some guys that are just obstinate. Some guys, some women, they're just obstinate. They just don't do it. And that's the bugaboo for me. Do it. Just drop drop it. It's acknowledgement. You'd be amazed. I'd say the hit rate is 90.
Okay.
And you'll see it in cars. I always wonder if cars notice. People in cars always notice that it's happening. That two motorcyclists coming at each other always drop the peace sign. It's just, my dad told me back in the day when he gave me a motorcycle, you got to do this. It's just something you
drop
just do.
The peace sign.
Yeah. I mean, he told me that when I was
below
15.
Left hand.
Well, it could be your right hand.
Okay. Whatever's had the pass you want.
Yeah. Well, they're coming. It's usually they're coming at you is how you do it.
Okay.
Coming at you.
Okay. I'll see if I notice this next time I'm on.
Yeah, you'll notice.
I don't ride a motorcycle.
No.
But if I see
You're a
motorcycles in
cager.
the same area, I'm a cager.
You're a cager. Now that's what motorcyclists call people that
Cager
drive
for life.
cars. Cagers. You're a cager. This time of year, I'm.
Trish says this is a dumb thing to be mad about, Sip. It's his bugaboos, not yours.
I don't know that I get like mad for any length of time. There's just a thought that rips through my head. Oh, you
dirty.
Yeah, quickly. And then it's, on to the next one.
Jace 2 says the Harley wave, the dumbest thing. See, they're criticizing the Harvey wave now. The Harley wave.
I don't think it's a Harley wave because you see, you know what else you see a lot these days? I don't know when the phenomenon took off, but you see a lot of guys on like just little, what would you call them? Little bikes, like little, like moped type things. You see that a lot now. And I dropped the V to them too.
That's fine. They're not.
No,
right?
And they drop it.
If they got the wind flowing by,
it's not a
they're
Harley. I
cager.
don't think it's a Harley thing at all. I think it's just a motorcyclist thing. Oh boy, people think it's dumb. I guarantee you that people that ride a motorcycle don't think it's dumb. They don't think
the ones calling it dumb probably don't ride motorcycles.
Yeah,
so they're
they
just
don't-
criticizing it. They don't know what it's like to be in the fraternity there.
It's kind of a
The
fraternal thing.
fraternity of motorcycle.
Yeah, it's
riding.
kind of a fraternal
What if you
thing.
saw Josh riding his bicycle? Would you give him the
I don't.
peace sign?
Yes, I would. I mean, it's a deal, but
Okay.
you know what I catch myself doing when I'm in my truck? I wave to motorcycles. I catch myself all the time.
You said, "I wish I was driving my bike right now, my hog."
Yeah, it's sort of embarrassing, but I do that. I don't drop the V out the window. I just wave at them.
It's like that. The kid wave. All right, that's Bill's Thrills, aka Sips Tip, sponsored by Mid Plains Advisors. Call Dirk, Scott, and Ty today at 402-730-7387 for all your financial needs here.
All right, we're just rolling along.
We are rolling. Thank you for the tip today.
You're welcome.
Sorry, the bugaboos.
Bill will be back tomorrow.
Yeah, and tomorrow's
He's a
Wild Card
cager.
Wednesday. Wild Card, he is a cager, and I'm gladly a cager.
Yeah.
You'll never see me change from being a cager. I'll never be a hog rider.
Really?
Nope. Oh, motorcycle for me. Top of the hour next. I want to talk about, is winning too fast a real thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Sip is.
Oh, here we go again.
We'll talk about that next. Early break and see.
If you struggle with joint pain, there's good news. You don't need surgery to get back to full health. South Point Medical offers breakthrough non-surgical for treatment of moderate to severe joint pain. Our patients experience little to no down, and the results are remarkable. Treatments with patients in 35 states because of an effective word-of-mouth traffic. Learn more about how you can get lasting results for joint pain today at southpointmedical.com or call 402-323-8400.
Let me share something to make life just a little easier. It's just one word, Bryant. If we need service on our furnace or AC, we call Bryant. Same thing goes for an electrical issue. If I have a problem with my faucet, a toilet, a drain, or a water heater, I don't need to know how to fix something. I just need to know who to call. And at our house, it's Bryant.
Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Just one call. 467-1111. Remember, we do whatever it takes.
Babe, pack your bags. We're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon-wrapped dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon-wrapped dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between, capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel. So do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck. So stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with Brew Credit.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
Mike Shaver here to tell you that Trek CBD has a new name, and it's Hemp Boss. It's the same products you've grown to love, just a new name. Spring sports are on the horizon, and Hemp Boss has a variety of products that help calm me down during games and on the golf course so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options for you to calm you down before, during, and after any event. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Hemp Boss has it all at 84th and Andermatt. Hemp Boss, naturally healthy CBD.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rush into your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually it. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine. There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
A warm, breezy day on here this afternoon. 85 south winds could gust to around 25. Heading into tonight, mainly clear with a low of 57. Tomorrow, even warmer and even windier. A high of 88. South winds gusting 35 to around 40. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine. Rise and shine.
Time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Tuesday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break. Fun show so far. Kind of been a surly show. Check out the podcast at theticketfm.com. You can always watch and comment on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and on channel 951 on Allo. Call or text us 402-464-5685. And as always, the show is sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Before we go in, we want to address your dumb Twitter poll.
I have an update on that, by the way.
Yeah. The misguided souls voting on Twitter. Go ahead. What are the results?
Well, can I just read the poll question, which was unbiased?
Yes.
Like you admit it was unbiased.
Yes.
The question was this. Important question for the show. Which coach would you want right now running your college football program? These are the options. Chris Kleiman or Jimbo Fisher. Chris Kleiman has 90% of the vote. 90% have voted for Chris Kleiman.
Only proves that there's a lot of misguided people out there that can only.
Josh says Jimbo.
Thank you, Josh. And he's having a piece of cake, chocolate.
I had some scraps.
Good job.
It was good.
Just
good job.
Proves that there's a lot of misguided people that are governed by recency. Because if you look at their records at the respective schools right now, why would you do that, Jake? Why would you do that? Jimbo has a better record at Texas A&M than Kleiman does at Kansas State. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kleiman's record at Kansas State, 30-20. That's a 600 winning percentage, if I'm doing the math correctly.
That's pretty good.
Jimbo's record at Texas A&M, 39-21. That's a 650 winning percentage. So, what are we doing here?
Well, Jimbo still seems to underachieve every year.
Oh God, stop!
A&M
wasn't a juggernaut when he went there.
They thought they should be. They have all the reasons to be.
Come on, don't do that.
They thought they were.
No.
That they should be.
Anyway, so Jimbo's record at A&M, which you judge to be disappointing, is better than Kleiman's record at Kansas State.
Overall.
Yes.
What about the last 2 years, though?
I think he won 9 2 years ago. I mean, if Kleiman wins 9, you're doing cartwheels. I mean, okay. Now, this is welcome to spring, by the way, as you said.
Yeah, okay. So here's the deal. We've had basically the argument for a full hour about coaches that you don't play against this year. You're not playing either K-State or A&M. They're not in your conference. And, yeah, we're having a knockdown, drag-out fight about
the
this.
The only
basically
mild connection would be we think Kleiman was on Trev's radar.
I do believe that.
Yeah, I do too.
Jimbo wasn't obviously because he was not an option here. He was getting paid a lot of money at A&M.
Right.
But I love Chris Kleiman. I'm a big fan. I'm a huge fan of him. And the tweeters now 90%.
The tweeters. Doesn't it give you pause that Jimbo has a better record at Texas A&M?
I pause for 1 second. I move on with Kleiman. See that? Thought about it. Recruiting classes are great. I'm glad you can get great players there, but what are you doing with the great players? Chris Kleiman, was Deuce Vaughn a highly ranked player at Kansas State? The answer is no.
Just keep overthinking.
The answer is no.
Just keep overthinking. Overthink your way into an abyss of losing.
I'd rather have a guy that's an overachiever than an underachiever.
Oh, God, that's beautiful.
You disagree with that?
I'm tired of overachieving talk.
Take the L. Someone says.
No, I'm not taking. I'm not taking the L. I'm not taking the L. Kleiman loses at a higher rate than Jimbo at a place where, in a situation where you judge Jimbo to be failing, he's even winning at a higher rate than Kleiman.
Let me ask you a simple
Well,
question.
can I just say it that way? Even in a situation where you judge Jimbo to be losing at too high of a rate, he's winning at a higher rate than Chris Kleiman.
I'm going to ask you one question here. If Jimbo Fisher had not won a title 10 years ago, would you have this stance on him?
That's a big if there, Sport. I mean, that's a big
champ.
if.
Come on, champ. What are you going to say?
That's a big if. He won the national title.
And so did Gene Chizik, though. We pointed out. I will keep bringing
Don't do that because
Gene Chizik in any conversation about national championships.
Or Les Miles. Les
Miles. Les Miles is a good coach. I like Les Miles. He was consistently a winner. I'm not going to bring him in that conversation. I don't think he deserves the same conversation as Gene freaking Chizik.
Well, Jimbo doesn't deserve to be in the same conversation as Gene freaking Chizik. And if you want me to bring up their records overall, I will. All right. No, I'm not taking an L. Texter.
Drew says this: nothing better than Sip getting in a tizzy, especially when he's wrong. Jimbo is completely overrated. Drew, thank you, Drew. It's a good text.
Really, Drew. Drew. Think about it. If they're standing there and you got to pick one to run your program, you're really picking Kleiman over Jimbo. Really,
yeah, I am.
You're really doing that.
That's right.
I mean, you really betting the house on that? No, you're not.
Hit the button, Jim.
You are betting the house on the guy that can get you the big time players. That's what you're doing.
That man is so desperate. He hired Bobby Petrino to run his offense.
I'm not talking about that.
Well, that's part of the equation here. He's so desperate. He got a guy that's been run out of football to come coach his offense.
He wasn't run out of football. He came from Missouri, the one of those directional Missouri
run out of Division I FBS football. Let's go with that.
Yeah, okay. He came from directional Missouri.
He is that desperate. We'll move on.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Because from one tizzy to another tizzy coming for Sip. 402-464-5685. Call or text as always. Here, this is going to be a question that probably gets hammered from people. I just want to have a conversation about it. Is it always a celebration to overachieve in your first season with a program, or can it sometimes elevate expectations too quickly? When we pause for a second here, Sonny Dykes, his first year at TCU, they went from 5-7 before he got there to runners-up in college football. They lost the title game to Georgia. They lost also they won the Big 12 regular season, lost the title game to Kansas State, but still a really good season, 2 losses, and a loss in the national championship. Now, if you're a TCU fan going forward, what is your expectation for TCU in the program? Is it the playoff or bust because he did it in his first year? Have you set up Sonny Dykes for failure because he got to the playoff in his first year at the school?
I see where you're coming from. I just think this is another classic example of overthinking.
Okay.
If Matt Rule, you write this in the rundown. If Matt Rule were to somehow win 10 games next year or more, definitely change the expectation to winning the Big Ten next. What if they
2024?
Yeah, in 2024. What if they Nebraska dove down to 7-8 wins the next year instead? You're not turning down a 10-win season.
No, you're not,
because you're worried about the impact on fan psyches. No, you don't worry about. That's what I mean by overthinking. We do that a lot in this market. We're
the kings of it.
We are the absolute kings of it. No, you don't. No, if
you don't turn it down.
No,
but what? It doesn't change your expectations.
No, I mean, would people become irrational? Yeah, that's a little bit, but you still take it. I don't know. I wonder at TCU. You have to take into account that's a way different. It's a much different world at TCU than it is in Lincoln. They don't have, I don't know, what have I said, 12 sports talk shows pretty much dedicated to Nebraska football. They don't have that in TCU. They don't have that in Fort Worth. TCU is generally an afterthought.
They are. It's
Far
Cowboys,
behind Cowboys. Far behind Cowboys. I bet they're talking about the Mavericks. The train wreck is the Mavericks right now.
They are.
No, it's not the same thing. So I think TCU, I don't think that'll be a big issue. I don't think people are going to be highly critical of Dykes if they slip back to 8 or 7 wins this year. And I don't even think that would happen in Nebraska necessarily. If Rule would take them to 10 plus this year, yeah, it would create some confusion.
Call it disappointing year 2 if they won 8 or 7 games.
I don't know. I just don't think we'd look at it that way as much as we overthink everything around here. I think I'd just bring on the scenario. Bring it on. Bring it on. Now, do I think it's going to happen? And do I think it should happen? No, I'm not that. And I know what I was talking about earlier with Brian Kelly and Kalen DeBoer, Lance Leipold, all these guys who just whipped around programs fast. I don't necessarily think Rule should be expected to do that here. Now, on the other hand, he didn't walk into a train wreck here. I mean, he can get to a bowl game this year. He would tell you that. I mean, it doesn't have to be a slow build. This is where I get so tired of that narrative. It does not have to be a slow build. It doesn't. That's just you're overthinking.
No such thing as a 7-year runway. You don't need.
Oh yeah, you're just overthinking it. Why can it happen at all these other places but not here? Tell me that.
There's no reason.
Why can it happen in all these places in basketball but we have this conversation that Nebraska men's basketball is some kind of separate entity that needs 8 years to grow? Why did it
Tim
not?
Miles made the dance in the second season.
Why did Kansas State not need 8 years to grow? Why did Kim Mulkey go to LSU, take a team that 2 years ago was 9-13, and then in 3 years win the national championship? Because she doesn't have those dumb thoughts in her head of this can't happen because it's, I walked into a train wreck and it's going to take a long time. You got to look at what I walked into. No, it's just great coaches don't have that conversation in their head. They say, we're going to take care of this now. And you can do it in this day and age.
You can. It's happened.
It's happening all around us.
NIL makes it possible too.
Yeah, transfer portal, NIL. It's happening all in good coaching. It's happening all around us. Why can't it happen here, Jake?
There's no reason why it can't. We're waiting for our turn. When is it our turn to experience that kind of success?
You got to get the right
and
coach.
Joy and surprise to a certain extent.
It's all about finding the right coach. These coaches did it. Kalen DeBoer's the right coach, obviously. Josh Heupel is the right coach, obviously. Sonny Dykes is the right coach. Lance Leipold is the right coach. Jerome Tang is the right coach.
Absolutely.
Right? Rick Pitino is obviously the right coach for anywhere.
St. John's now.
You know what? What's going to happen with St. John's?
They're going to win quickly.
Yeah.
It's going to happen quickly.
And they're not going to say, well, he walked into a bad situation, that Mike Anderson left a bad situation. Well, first of all, Anderson didn't leave that bad a situation. But, if he did, Pitino would rip it around and he wouldn't make excuses when he doesn't. Right?
Yep. I just want Nebraska fans for the show and fans listening to go through a season with a good taste in their mouth the whole time and end with that. The last time that probably happened was maybe 2009. Right? And the last time you were surprised by a year was probably 2008.
Eight, yeah.
Because they came off a 5-7 year,
yeah,
and they won 9 games. You said, "Oh my God, okay, great first year. They won a bowl game against Clemson. This is great."
Clemson, yeah.
That's the last time you ended the year with like just a really good taste in your mouth.
Stop and think about what you're saying, please. 2008.
And 09 is the last year that you were happy with how the season went. Again, unfortunate against Texas, but you're optimistic.
Wasn't there another year somewhere?
No, because 10 ended poorly. You lost to Oklahoma and you lost to Washington in the bowl game.
Terrible.
Great start, amazing start of the year, but the end of the year, horrible taste in your mouth.
Rough.
Horrible.
Rough. The Washington thing was rough.
Because you already beat
Bo
them.
mailed that in. I mean, he did. He didn't want to play Washington at all. I mean, they were doomed in that game.
Yeah, and so they blow a 17-0 lead to Oklahoma, lose the title game, and then they don't want to play Washington. They lose that game. It's
Then what
just
was
terrible.
What was 11? What was the problem there?
Well, they didn't win their bowl game.
Yeah, 12.
What year did they play Georgia in the Gator Bowl?
I think that was 12.
12.
Yeah,
11
that
or
was
12.
a decent feeling after that.
Yeah, because you beat Georgia. That was okay.
Not great though. It wasn't a great feeling.
I think that was 11. Then he lost
Might
back-to-back
have been
years
11.
in the Capital One Bowl
Okay.
to Carolina and Georgia.
Yeah. Then the Pelini, when the switch over to Eichhorst occurred, then everything started feeling weird. And Bo was sort of on this sort of like lukewarm to hot seat. People in the program knew it. A lot outside didn't recognize it. And then it became sort of pretty recognizable to everybody. And boom, he's getting fired at 9-4 and beating Iowa. So it didn't feel good there. When Riley went to the Music City Bowl in 2016, no, it didn't feel that good.
No, it didn't feel. Yeah, and that 7-0 start felt fake too, right?
No, it didn't feel. There was a lot of squabbling with fans. I was in the middle of it a lot of times because I didn't believe in what was going on at all.
They were a fraudulent 7-0. We all knew it. You could see there was a lot of,
Tennessee whipped them.
Yep.
Tennessee whipped them in the bowl game.
Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, whipped them.
Alvin Kamara.
Yeah. No, there wasn't. God, you're right. You got to go back. God.
Maybe 2011 when they beat Georgia in the Gator Bowl.
Yeah.
But that's a maybe.
Yeah.
I'm saying for sure the last time we went through a season with surprise and had a great feeling was 2008. 09 was there, but you weren't surprised because you had a good year in 08 and you thought you were setting yourself up for a good year in 09.
If you got 8 this year, there'd be a great feeling.
Of course there would be.
Yeah. Great feeling. 7.
You haven't made a bowl game in 6 years.
7 pretty good, especially if you tack a bowl win on it. God, it's. I'm just saying.
Are you depressed over there?
No, a little bit when you talk about
that. Is this
that.
depressing you right now?
08? It's a long time ago.
That's 15 years ago. 15 years ago might be the last time you were surprised in a good way with the result of a season.
That's 3 head coaches ago.
I know.
I mean,
It's 15 years ago. I was in high school. I'm 32 this month. I was in high school.
We need a good season around here.
You got fans saying they'll accept 6 and 6. Now go win 8 or 9 and make it. Yeah, I mean, probably the same thing in 08. We said 6 wins, 7 wins, get us back to a bowl game.
I'm not saying that Rule's got to go win 7 or 8 to prove anything about his worth. I'm just saying it doesn't have to be a slow build. It just does not have to be. I think we talk ourselves into that. And I know a lot of people do. I think it's because of trepidation, and they're worried about how Rule's going to feel if there's a little pressure on him. Rule says it himself. I mean, Rule, what did he say the other day? What did he say? What was the quote the other day that jumped out at you? Come on. Say.
He said that the team needs to believe.
Yeah.
The O-line just needs to believe.
No, it wasn't that. It was, we're not here to lose games and then tell the fans afterwards, thank you.
Yep.
No, Rule's got the right mentality. I'm, you know what, Jake? After this spring, I have a high degree of confidence in who's leading that program. In part because he's not in your head guy. He's let's take care of business now guy. Okay. What's he done with recruiting? He's just gone full on aggressive, bringing in 4 stars that for junior day a couple weeks ago, bringing in 5-star guys, getting the attention of the number 1 rated tackle in the country. Jake, you can have your little Chris Kleiman cute story.
I like Chris Kleiman.
Yeah, that's nice, but that's not what wins championships. Okay? Developing star players is not going to beat Ohio State. Okay, I'm sorry. That's a nice little thing you got going in your brain, but you think developing 3-star players is going to beat Ohio State or Harbaugh as long as he's there. He won't be there much longer, but
it could have beat Harbaugh this year, possibly. TCU beat them. They beat TCU. TCU got beat by Kansas State, and TCU beat Michigan, so they can beat Michigan. You're talking about Georgia, who no one's beating right now.
Give me a break.
Georgia's on a different level. We're talking about one team.
Don't quit. Stop overthinking.
We'll never stop.
Creating these little
We will
imaginations.
never stop overthinking in this market ever.
No, I'm the king of it, but not in all cases.
All right. Robin Washut is next on Early Break in the Ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking gives a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a Gaina Truck health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
If you struggle with joint pain, there's good news. You don't need surgery to get back to full health. South Point Medical and Aesthetics offers breakthrough non-surgical options for treatment of moderate to our patients experience little to no downtime from our procedures, and the results are remarkable. They've had 14 years of successful treatments with patients from 35 states because of an effective word-of-mouth traffic. Learn more about how you can get lasting results for joint pain today at southpoint.com or call 402-323-8400.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. Supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Mike Shaver here to tell you that Trek CBD has a new name, and it's Hemp Boss. It's the same product you've grown to love, just a new name. Spring sports are on the horizon. Hemp Boss has a variety of products that help calm me down during games and on the golf course so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options for you to calm you down before, during, and after any event. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Hemp Boss has it all at 84th and the Internet. Hemp Boss, naturally healthy CBD.
It's April, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner.
No tag. Mullen Motors.
Action Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of their funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carry out, or schedule a catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from lines and equipment. To give crews, visit les.com/trees to learn more.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are trying to chase down Robin Washut. He might be busy this morning. It's fine.
Well, he's got to go to practice.
Maybe he's getting ready for practice.
I got to
It's
go to
fine.
practice, by the way, so I'm out of here after this segment.
I know you are. You got to
One-
play your game show, though.
One last thing.
On Jimbo Fisher and Chris Kleiman,
One last thing.
our topic for the the whole show?
The reason it's sort of compelling, is that they're very different. They're very different. And I trend towards the salesman coach. I do. I do. I mean, I think we've tried the other thing a lot, where we want the cute story. I say cute story. You're developing.
Who wanted Mike Riley? Tell me that. Who wanted Mike Riley?
Nobody, but like Bo's. Robin joins us. Bo's not a salesman. Frost is anti-salesman. Jimbo's a salesman.
Used car salesman?
Didn't say that.
I did.
High level
snake
salesman.
oil.
Okay. Does he need to get that national title?
Well, before we talk about basketball, we'll join now by your colleague Robin Washington, Husker Online. Robin, before we get to hoops and some recruiting updates, I'm going to. Quick update. We have a poll going, Robin. If you could start right now with either of these coaches for a program, would you choose Jimbo Fisher or Chris Kleiman? Who would you choose, Robin?
Well, I don't know. I think if found Fisher with the right staff, I think you have a higher ceiling. If you want a better foundation, I think you go.
Whoa.
It's a good answer, Robin. You choose a side there.
What a very astute answer.
Smart answer right there. Smart answer.
Well, so I didn't really give you an answer. So if I have to pick one, I'm going to go for a championship. I'm going Jimbo.
Okay. Well, he's on your side. He's on your side.
You go.
That's fine. That's
oh,
good.
yeah. I mean, Jake, are you interested in championships?
I am, but it was 10 years ago, and he's lost his fastball, as I said before. But Robin, we'll move on to some basketball. We want to get some updates in terms of recruiting and who Nebraska's after and where they stand with them. Let's get an update quickly on Charlotte transfer Bryce Williams, a 6'7" player. What's the update on Bryce Williams, Robin?
Yeah, he took an official visit this weekend, his first since hitting the portal, and from all accounts, couldn't have gone much better, as most official visits do. Now the question is he going to take any more trips? That remains to be determined. Even if he does, I haven't even heard even what potential schools he might go see, so that kind of tells you something. I think Nebraska's in a pretty good spot. I think that they did what they needed to do on this trip, and were able to kind of sell what they needed to sell. So now it's just a matter of wrapping things up and making sure that they close the deal on this one. And if they get that done, that's a pretty darn good start, because they addressed that big scoring wing. He shot close to 35% from 3-point range, led Charlotte in scoring, even though he wasn't even a full-time starter. He was their sixth man and averaged almost 14 points per game. Was the MVP of the CBI when Charlotte ran through that tournament and won it. So he's coming off a pretty good end of last year, and I think he would address maybe not the most critical need that Nebraska is looking to fill in this portal cycle, but certainly a need. He can be that 3, 4, maybe even a 2 in a big lineup that can cause some mismatches offensively with the way they're able to draw defenders out, and it can kind of get Nebraska back to that 5-out style with a little bit more efficient shooting around it at all 5 spots.
This might seem blasphemous, Robin, but I'm going to say it. Bryce Williams is much more important than Hunter Salas. I mean, to this program, the way Bryce Williams shoots the ball is real. I mean, I've watched the video. This is you absolutely need Bryce Williams. A lot of teams would love to have Bryce.
That's what I say. Like you start out your commitments with that.
Yep.
That's getting the ball rolling in a big way.
100%. Yeah.
I know a lot of people look, me myself included, look at point guard and bigs as maybe the 2 top priorities, but this is a need as well. Nebraska needs more shooting. They need guys beyond Casey and Jamarcus Lawrence, and especially with what Fred wants to do. If you can get a guy that can play the 3 or the 4 and shoot 35% from 3, that's going to be a huge difference.
He's a 40% shooter from 3, Rob, and you team him with Casey, and good luck to defenses, because now you have another guy that can shoot almost as well as Casey. This guy's got
But
a
on the other part
silky
to that,
shot.
the other part to it is he's long and he's 6'7",
Yeah.
so you're not sacrificing as much on the defensive end.
I don't.
either.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
You're able to match up too, and you can play bigger lineups while still having that shooting on the floor as well.
Well, that is one thing, Rob. I'd have to watch a little on Bryce Williams. Does he defend? Now, Hunter Salas.
He rebounds.
Yeah,
he rebounds.
That's important.
7-8 rebounds a game.
It's a good sign. It's a good sign. That's a huge. It would be huge. Hunter Salas, by the way, as you wrote for Husker Online, Fred Hoiberg and his staff were off to Spokane, Washington, for an in-home visit with Hunter this weekend. It apparently went well. There's a team that's. Give me a feel for what this Wake Forest situation is with Hunter. So Wake Forest is coming after Hunter Salas hard.
Yeah, Wake Forest is going in just as hard as Nebraska is. They're probably right there as one of the most involved teams. They came up. So Nebraska was there on Sunday. Steve Forbes and his staff were there on Saturday. So they're making their pitch and kind of got the ball rolling on that. I think the real question now is what happens at the end of this week. Hunter's still kind of like in the feeling out process of who his legitimate options are going to be. So I put Wake Forest in that conversation. I put Nebraska in that conversation. Georgetown is another team to watch as far as teams really making a push. But then after this week, around this weekend, he's going to trim that list down to maybe, final 3, final 5, whatever it may be. And then that's when you know kind of who the real competition is. And then you can start scheduling official visits. I do think at this point, the way it stood coming out of that in-home visit, Nebraska is going to have a good shot of getting an official with Hunter. It kind of makes a lot of sense that it would be for the spring game. So that's kind of the weekend to keep an eye out on. But then who else does he visit? When does he visit them? All that sort of stuff is kind of the next unknowns there. But, again, just like with Bryce Williams, Nebraska did what it needed to do. I think they had a really good sales pitch that I think interested Hunter and his family. And now the next step is continuing to, push that pitch and close the deal once you get him on campus.
Joined by Robin Washington, Husker Online. Robin, Nebraska needs to replace Derek Walker as well. A huge replacement for them. John Hugley was here he's going to visit here soon. But what about Bradley transfer big man Rink Maas, 6'10", 240-pound native of the Netherlands? What's the scoop on him and Nebraska's interest there?
Yeah, first of all, I've confirmed that it's Hughley, like D.L. Hughley, the community.
Hughley.
Or like comedian. Yeah,
for John Hughley, not Hugley. Hughley.
Not Hugley.
All right, noted.
Okay, so he's visiting this coming weekend, I believe the 17th or the 19th. So that's to be determined on where things stand with that. But, another big, keep an eye on, like you said, is Rink Maas. Bradley transfer 6'9", some list him at 6'10", around 240 pounds. So similar build to Derek Walker. And I don't know if you've watched any film of this guy, but just watch the highlight tape that I put in on that story that I posted yesterday, and just watch that jump hook.
Ooh.
You're going to fall in love immediately.
Ooh.
It is old school,
Ooh.
1980s, post up, little shoulder shimmy, jump hook, automatic all day.
Boy.
If you add like 4 inches to him, he's got that Dave Hoppin look to him a little bit. So,
I like it.
So he's got that a lot of similarities to Derek Walker. He's not nearly the ball handler that Derek Walker was. Not many bigs are, but he's a much better shooter. He's another guy that shot close to 35% from 3. So he has that element to his game, along with that high percentage jump hook game in the low post. So there's a lot to like about him. He comes from a winning program at Bradley. Obviously, they were the regular season champs in the Missouri Valley this year. So, we'll see kind of where things stand there. But if Nebraska is able to get him on campus, and I think that the competition, Nebraska is going to be right up there. I know Iowa was involved there, but they just took a big Valpo, big Ben Crikey, and so they're off the board. And so, like Cincinnati was another team involved. They just took a big out of the portal. So I think if Nebraska is doing their part, then they should be in a pretty good spot here very soon. So definitely another name to watch, along with John Hughley. So, point guards, bigs continue to be priorities along with those wings. And as far as the visits are concerned, Nebraska's checking a lot of boxes.
We're joined by Robin Washut, who's the author of this article, Behind the Vault, the latest on Nebraska basketball's transfer portal recruiting. It is an absolute must read, Jacob. This stuff is on the minds of Nebraska fans. It's fascinating. And what Fred's got on the radar, Robin, is enticing. I mean, if you can land these guys you're talking, if you could get Bryce Williams, if you get this Bradley center you're talking about, if you get Hunter, oh boy. I mean, you've put yourself in a pretty good position, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it looks good. Now they got to close, and that was an issue for them last year. They were in on some really good players, but when it came down to it, for whatever reason, they lost out to other programs in a lot of cases. Now they were able to get some good players, but
they did.
Their original top, I guess you could call them top choices, or at least first visits. They missed on them. And so that's going to be the separator now. Is on paper this visit list and the guys that they're seemingly well in the mix with, that makes a pretty salty lineup if you put that all together with what they're returning. But now there's that last step of closing the deal and getting these guys to put pen to paper. So we'll see kind of what happens next. But to this point, I know there was some kind of hand wringing a little bit about the lack of movement and news coming out of the transfer portal. But patience is kind of the virtue here, as long as Nebraska was able to finish the job and get these guys signed up.
Well, good job, Robin. Everybody's paying attention.
Robin, always good stuff. Thanks for the time. We will chat with you again next week.
Sounds good, guys. See you later.
Husker Online's Robin Washut. By the way, before the game show, you're always curious where your players go to when they transfer away. Denham Dawson, who was on the bench last year.
Six game starter.
Going to Tennessee State. You ever heard of Tennessee State before?
Yes, I have. But that surprises me. I know what you're getting at here. You thought maybe there'd be a higher profile school for Denham.
Well,
Dawson.
it's like when Nebraska, think about the early schools when, Jervay Green went to Pacific. Jervay Green left and went to Pacific, and then you had Cam Mack went to Prairie View A&M.
Yeah.
Like you never lose them to bigger schools. One time, I think Tim Miles lost Michael Jacobson to Iowa State. That was a decent school to lose him to, but typically they go to lesser schools.
Jacobson ended up doing very well.
That was a successful story for him.
Denham Dawson.
Ed Morrow went to Marquette and had some success there.
Now, Denham Dawson, again, 6-game starter. I like his potential. He'll do well there. I am surprised, though, that he didn't go to a higher profile school.
Tennessee State for Denham Dawson.
I'm going to tell you something. He's going to experience their practice facility, my guess, isn't anything like Nebraska's. Their arena is nothing like Nebraska's. Their overall support is not. I gotta think he's going into a different world. It's gonna be interesting.
Quiet games there, quiet arena.
Yeah,
I'm sure
it's gonna be a different world for him.
Let's play the game show. Give us a call right now at 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. Yesterday, you had a 2-0 lead with Coach Paul Klempa, and you lost it in the tiebreaker.
Yeah, we choked.
You lost. The choker was in the lineup here.
Yeah. What's Klempa say about recruiting?
Keep the chokers out of the lineup.
Paul Klempa. That's what he says about his bowling team. Keep the chokers out of the lineup.
And what did you do yesterday?
I choked.
You choked.
I was in his lineup and I choked.
You choked. Today is going to be very interesting because it's AAA baseball affiliates.
Oh, fun.
I will give you the AAA team. You tell me what major league team they are the affiliate for. Does that make sense? Got it?
Yeah.
Like the Storm Chasers are for the Royals. Yeah.
Can do.
That's not a question today, though. Think your AAA baseball affiliates. Call us up right now, 402-464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point. Shut up, Sipple!
No, sorry.
Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call to play 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 464-5685. Call the Takedown Sip in trivia. How do you feel today about AAA baseball affiliates?
Probably better than you think.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd feel very good about this.
No.
So
Yes.
I'm saying I didn't think you'd
I
feel
got
good.
it.
So
I got
you are better than I think you'd be. That makes sense. You feel better at least. Does that make sense? Am I speaking English over here?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Jared, how do you feel about AAA baseball affiliates?
Oh, pretty good, bud.
Bud, there it was. Do you hear that?
Whoa.
He's been listening. He's been listening the whole show. Bud,
Bud.
dropped the butt on me.
All right, let's do this, sport.
All right, sport champ. Jared, here we go. First question goes to you. What MLB team is AAA's Columbus Clippers affiliated with?
Oh, I'm going to guess
The Phillies. The Columbus Clippers.
Pass.
That'd be the Cleveland Guardians.
Ooh.
Both Ohio teams there. Ohio.
Josh would have had that. He could have been my lifeline. We're just going. I'm going
Just
solo,
solo
Josh.
today. Solo.
Josh, I wanted to go solo. See if I could get this done.
Okay, Sip, for the lead, your first question. What MLB team is AAA's Toledo Mud Hens affiliated with?
Ooh, I thought they were the Guardians. This is trouble. Oh, I know it. Ring it up. 1-0 lead. Detroit.
How did you get that?
Just fired. My brain fired.
But why,
The engine
would
fired.
you know that, though?
I don't know. Because I would tell you this. I think the Toledo Mud Hens have been the AAA affiliate, for the Tigers since I was born. I mean, I think
And you paid attention to the Blue Hens?
I think it's a
Or the
long
Mud Hens
time.
baseball?
It's a long time association.
All right. Well, 1-0 lead. To tie it up, Jared, your last question. What MLB team is AAA's Round Rock Express affiliated with?
Ooh, Round Rock Express. It's going to be down in like Texas. I'm going to guess the Texas Rangers.
Texas Rangers
That was a
is
layup.
correct.
That was a layup.
Layup.
Yeah. He
Rangers.
threw him a fastball down the middle of the plate.
The Rangers, by the way, whipped the Royals last night, 11-2. You heard that here on the airwaves. They play again tonight.
The Royals never win.
The Royals are 3-8 right now. 3-8 start to the year. Not good so far. But
They just had a 1-6 homestand.
yes, they did. There's still time, but bad start. All right, Sip, for the win, your last question.
It's for the W.
But if you miss, Jerry can steal this and win outright. What MLB team is AAA's Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp affiliated with? Great name. The Jumbo Shrimp. Awesome.
I'm just going to
Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. 5 seconds. Need a team. Fine.
I'll go with the Atlanta Braves.
Jared, do you want this one or are we going to the tiebreaker?
Ooh, I want it. Marlins.
It is indeed the Miami Marlins. Thought you had that one. Sip. Jumbo Shrimp, Marlins, you both eat them.
Yeah.
You eat them both.
Yeah,
On
stupid.
the ocean.
I should have
They're
got
both in Florida.
bad. Overthought it, Jake.
Jared, we'll get you bagels. Thanks for calling in and calling down the road. Nice win.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
There he goes. Jared wins today.
Just like you overthink the Chris Kleiman Jimbo thing, I overthought the Jumbo Shrimp. Marlins, of course.
Yeah, they're both in Florida.
Yeah. You could have guessed
You can
Tampa.
both get them out of the ocean.
Could have guessed Tampa.
You could have guessed Tampa,
Yeah.
and that would have been wrong, but still.
Yeah.
The Braves are actually the Gwinnett Braves. It's the same last name, Gwinnett Braves.
Oh, is that right? Gwinnett?
Yes, Gwinnett in Atlanta, suburb
Suburb
of
Atlanta, yeah.
Atlanta. Last question for you while we're here. Why not before you get to practice? What is the capacity of the Omaha Storm Chasers Werner Park?
Okay, that's interesting. It's an interesting question.
That's why it's tiebreaker.
Hmm.
The list.
I've never been there. I've been in the parking lot.
It's a wonderful park.
I've been in the. Why was I in the parking lot? I don't know. I've seen the venue. I've seen highlights from the venue. I've spoken to Happer and other people who have been there.
Yep. I've been there many times.
I would guess 7,300.
Not bad. 9,023 is the number. 9,000.
Ooh, that's bigger than I thought.
And by the way, speaking of baseball, Nebraska plays UNO tonight here in Lincoln. Should be a
Okay.
beautiful night for baseball.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Got to get redemption for that loss 2 weeks ago.
Nebraska
to UNO.
18-10-1 entering the night. I don't know UNO.
Northwestern this weekend. You gotta win this game.
Sweep. Get the brooms out.
I think Josh will be attending those games. One of those games. Get an update on the pitching, hitting coach, and director of operations for Northwestern. He told me he's going to go to the games. He sent me a list of questions. I said these are all great questions for the coach.
The coach has got to wonder what the hell is going on
People
right
in
now.
Nebraska care about this.
Josh, it's a good idea.
And I love it. And he'll report back, and we'll have an update Monday.
You will be on these airways
Reporting back your
Yes.
findings from the Northwestern
you
baseball coach.
will be speaking into a microphone if you pull this off. And Jake will probably just hand you money out of his own
Yeah, I'll say,
pocket.
take this. Take it. Take it. This is big reporting here. We're going to win an award off of this. Award-winning radio from Josh, possibly.
Josh, get this done. Get this done. Okay. I like the idea a lot.
All right.
Hammer it home.
Well, Sip, you got to go to practice. All right. You got to go to practice.
I got to go to practice.
We'll see you tomorrow, and Bill.
Oh, my
Bill is
God.
back.
Bill's return.
Bill's back tomorrow.
Oh, it's the three-legged stool is back.
It's back. It's just kind of rocking like crazy over here. The spillover with Raph and AD and myself is next on Early Break on the Ticket.
Lincoln Earth Day is on Saturday, April 15th at UNL's Innovation Campus. Green vehicles, local food, live family-friendly activity from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sponsored by Johanna Rhodes Real Estate. More event details at rhohomes.com.
I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown comes to Lincoln's Pinnacle Bank Arena, 6:45 this Friday. I am back. You'll see Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Charlotte Flair, Sami Zayn, and more. And from Monday Night Raw, the OC's Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson face the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, and more. Tickets start at $20. Available now at Ticketmaster.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Mike Shaver here to tell you the Trek CBD hits. It's the same product you love, just a new name. Spring sports are on the horizon, and Hemp Boss has a variety of products. Calm me down during games and on the golf course so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options for you to calm you down before, during, and after any event. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Hemp Boss has it all at 84th and the Internet. Hemp Boss, naturally healthy CBD.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people come drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin at premierdw.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
With ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and more. ESC provides custom welding for aluminum and stainless steel and media blasting of all sorts. ESC has great attention to detail. They stick to deadlines and keep within your budget. If you can dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A warm, breezy day on the way here for our Tuesday. Highs this afternoon around 85. South winds could gust to around 25. Heading into tonight, mainly clear with a low of 57. Tomorrow, even warmer and even windier. A high of 88. South winds gusting 35 to around 40. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Anybody who knows me knows I was cocky out of the womb.
Is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, it's time for the spillover. Sip had to go to practice. Bill Bush out again tomorrow. Raf and AD, though, are in the building. Gentlemen, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Good morning, my man.
How are we
Good
doing today?
It's amazing. It's Tuesday.
I need to ask you guys a question that's been the topic of the entire show today. That Sip and I, it's funny because it's the spring. We're talking about things that aren't even Nebraska related, but there's a list out there put out by Pro Football Focus of the top 25 coaches in the country. And me and Sip have had a battle all day, as happens sometimes in the show. Mm-hmm. If you had to start your program right now, college football, with these two choices, Jimbo Fisher or Chris Kleiman, who do you guys choose and why? I will keep my vote out of this. I will hear from you guys first.
Go ahead, Rafferty. How much money does my school have?
That's a good question. That's your choice at this point.
Okay, so if I have a lot of money and I can get player, I'm gonna go with Kleiman. I'm gonna say that he can. I mean, he's taken what he has at Kansas State and he's making really good teams. So if he's got a lot of money, he should be able to get probably better people to make better players. Let's go Kleiman. Kleiman it is.
So here's the deal: is that Jimbo Fisher went 5-7 last year.
Correct.
At A&M. He was supposed to be a top 5 team. They failed. They went 5-7. He won a championship, national title 10 years ago. 2013 national champs. They beat Auburn in the title game. Jameis Winston was awesome in that game. Kelvin Benjamin, and they won. But he has not been. He's been okay. He's been good since then, but not great. Mm-hmm. AD, if you get to choose here, Chris Kleiman at Kansas State head coach or A&M's Jimbo Fisher. If you were to start one to start your program, who you take?
Does it matter what school we're at?
No, you can have all the money or no money. It's your choice.
I'm going Kleiman because what Kleiman has done with a school with way less resources than when Jimbo's. I mean, those guys were talking about, securing the bag before the bag was supposed to be secured. On that video, they got that little clip where whoever that coach was talking about, the money bags he's showing the guys at the stadium, and it kind of slips out. Kind of Freudian slip, which was really not a slip, it was the truth. And it's not a knock on Jimbo, but it's as we all know, it's a what have you done for me lately business. And you look at the amount of recruits and the amount of money they had at A&M and were getting boat raced.
Right.
And when you mentioned, that was a decade ago he won that national
10 years ago.
A decade.
10 years ago.
You were 22 years old.
I was just out of college.
2 years ago is light years in college football. 2 years is light years away. Kleiman, I mean, if we're going currently, I'm going Kleiman. Especially if you give them the same amount, the same resources, the same amount of money, everything from
square one, I'd have to go Kleiman also, because Jimbo's, he has all the resources at his hands.
He has all the money in the world for
everything.
NIL, for portal, and they still are
Going
not
up
getting
5
it
and
done.
7.
Right.
Yep.
And he lost his locker room a number of times throughout the year. The number of things that you heard to come out of there, and I'm not saying that, but here's the deal. When you're the head coach, the buck stops with you, pun intended. I mean, the amount of chaos. I honestly think this year. Now, first of all, they're going to owe him if they were to fire him after this year. Let's say they have another bad year.
Okay.
They're going to owe him still like $70 million.
A lot of money.
He ain't going nowhere. However, it would not surprise me in Texas if they still fired him.
Oh, they will.
With $70 million, because that's not any big deal to them.
Pocket change.
That's pocket change. It's like coming to America. Please do not take all my pocket change from me. I mean, you get those board of directors down there like, buddy, he's not getting it done. He's gone. Jimbo
Here's
is
a big
gone.
check for you.
Here's a big check, and don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
Where was Kleiman rated? What number?
Kleiman was get the pull up. Sorry,
give us those ratings real quick. I was listening a little bit this morning.
Because I know who number 14 was.
So so Kleiman was 16, Fisher was 17. They're back to back on this list in terms of where they're at.
So would you take 14 or 16?
So 14 was Lance Leipold at Kansas. So he was above Chris Kleiman. I would take Chris Kleiman over Lance Leipold, and I love Lance. That's not a knock on Lance.
Don't make me come across this table.
That's not a diss.
of wrath.
Lance Leipold is a phenomenal football coach. I'm taking Kleiman right now over Leipold, but it's not like easy. That's my guy.
Yeah,
but I love Lance.
Big Kleiman guy.
I like Wet Blanket's statement here. Good morning, Wet Blanket. It says Kleiman inherited the best program in FCS and made it better. He's a proven winner with limited resources and unlimited resources. I just, and like I said, that could change after next year. We've seen how this happens, man. But as of right now, today, on April 11th, I'm going with Kleiman.
I'm taking Kleiman also.
Yeah, me too.
Why do you take Kleiman?
Well, same thing.
I heard you this morning.
You guys said the same thing. It's the fact that the guy, he does more with less, and that's something where what if you gave him more? He'd be doing even better because he could have better players.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They don't have all the money that A&M has, and as Wet Blanket says, North Dakota State was excellent under Craig Bowl. They were good since him, and he made them even better.
Yeah.
He had first round draft pick in Trey Lance, and I think was Wentz's guy, or was that before him?
I can't remember.
No, Wentz was Bowl.
Wentz was Bowl.
Wentz was Bowl, and then Bowl went to Wyoming, and then got Josh
Gotcha.
Allen.
Okay.
Yep.
But Trey Lance was a third overall pick in the NFL draft, so he was another great player there. They have not dropped off at all. Now they have since he's left there, but I just think the guy preaches physical football. They run the ball well. They play good defense, and if you gave him way more resources to work with to get better players and still use his developmental system, those guys will buy in, saying, "I'm going to make you better."
You look at with an exception of the hiccup they had against Tulane, I think is who they lost to, and of course, then that was the game to where the Boogaboos came back again for Martinez a little bit.
Yep.
But how they ended up playing for the conference championship.
Right.
The thing that sticks out the most with Kleiman too, they don't make a lot of mental mistakes.
They don't make mistakes.
Now if you beat me because you just beat me. It wasn't because we beat ourselves, but with the exception of that Tulane game. And again, I know it's only one game, but it's been 4 times in a row. They beat Oklahoma. Beat OU.
Yeah, they did.
And
with Lincoln Riley.
Yes, with Lincoln Riley, the quote unquote QB whisper.
Who's by the way, he's number 5 on this list.
Who's number? Would you go 1 through 10?
Yeah. Yep. Here's your
20 actually.
Okay. Here's your top. Here's your 1 through 20. I'll do this in order. Number 1, Saban. Number 2, Kirby Smart at Georgia. 3, Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. 4, Dabo Swinney. So Harbaugh above Swinney right now,
which is surprising.
Well,
not really, because Harbaugh's been playing back
Big
to,
Tens.
yeah, that makes sense.
5 is Lincoln Riley, who, by the way, they got Cliff Kingsbury last night to be an offensive coach.
We're going to discuss that.
6, Brian Kelly, LSU. That's fair. He's been great everywhere he's been. Ryan Day is at 7.
That's kind of weird to me.
Low or high?
I think low. I think he should be higher than Jim Harbaugh.
Well, Jim Harbaugh's beat him twice in a row.
I know, but
we're talking about right now.
But he was one
right now.
I'd take Ryan over Harbaugh right now.
He was one, was it field goal away from being in the national
Sure.
championship game, going against the Georgia team that everybody,
Yeah.
So I think I'd have Day higher than Harbaugh.
It's fair.
With the 2.
I'll take Harbaugh right now because he won back-to-back against and back-to-back Big Tens. 8, Kyle Whittingham at Utah. 9, Luke Fickell, Wisconsin. 10, James Franklin at Penn State, who's had quietly a great 11-win season last year. They beat Utah in the Rose Bowl. 11, Josh Heupel, Tennessee.
Whoa.
Now you think about this though.
They're going to find out this year. with that.
I think they will without the quarterback
Without
and that
Hendon
receiver,
Hooker.
and that
Hooker's
receiver gone. I think is that receiver gone too?
Yeah, I think he is gone.
But with Heupel, what he inherited though was a dumpster fire. I mean, scandal on top of scandal. Guys were leaving left to right. So I mean, I'll take him at 11. That makes sense.
Okay, number 12, Sonny Dykes, who went to the title game last year at TCU.
Yeah.
Surprise year for TCU. I think 12 is fine for Sonny Dykes. We'll see what he does in year 2 there.
Mhm.
13, Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss. 14, Lance Leipold at Kansas. 15, Kalen DeBoer from Sioux Falls at Washington now. 15. He's a Sioux Falls guy, you know that. Kalen DeBoer.
I didn't realize that.
From Sioux Falls. 16, Chris Kleiman. 17, Jimbo Fisher. 18, Mark Stoops at Kentucky.
Okay.
19, Mike Gundy, Oklahoma State.
He's a man.
He's still he's over 40. He's at 50 now. 20 is Willie Fritz at Tulane. After the big, they beat USC in the Cotton Bowl. And then the last 5, Chip Kelly, 21st at UCLA. Dave Clawson at Wake Forest, 22nd. I think he's too low. Should be higher than 22nd. He's been great there. 23, Mike Norvell, Florida State, after one good season. Probably a little too high for him.
Yeah, a little premature.
24, Jonathan Smith at Oregon State. And number 25, Nebraska's very own Matt Rule.
Let's ride,
no
baby.
Kirk Ferentz, no PJ Fleck, no Brett Bielema.
You know, Oregon State's coach, number 24, what's
Jonathan?
I think that's a little low from him because Oregon State has been historically a doormat. And for what the season they had last
They
year,
won 10 games. They beat Florida in the bowl game. He should probably be in the top 20.
I was thinking top 20. I wouldn't go top 15, but top 20 for sure.
Done a great job.
And their facilities, bro, are not. I mean, they're decent at best.
Yep,
they're decent at best. And
So yeah, some again names not on here would be like I said, Kirk Ferentz, Brett Bielema, PJ Fleck. There's no like Dan Lanning in Oregon. There's no Brett Venables on here. There's no understand he had a bad year. No Mac Brown on here.
Yeah.
At North Carolina.
Carolina.
That's kind of surprising to me a little bit.
That must be baseball season. Texas Jeremy's like, Ryan Day started on third and tells everyone he hit a triple. And then Bryce says Ryan Day started on third and says started on third and says he hit.
You're messing up.
Yeah, I got him confused. Ryan Day, born on third base, thinking he hit a home run. Baseball analogy.
Yep. That's what Jim Harbaugh said at one point about Ryan Day, basically.
You know, Lincoln brings up an interesting point. You know,
Coach Prime. Where's Coach Prime?
I'm with Kleiman. This is Kenton Lincoln. I'm with Kleiman, but did Adrian get better? Running was, passing really was not. You know, it's interesting that I think, again, that shows you the coaching acumen of Kleiman. He realized that's not Adrian's strong suit. So why try to fit a circle in a square peg or vice versa? So we didn't have to throw that. That defense was not, I mean, that offense was not rigged around the success of Adrian Martinez throwing the ball up and down the field. You had that little short running back. What's the little dude's
Deuce Vaughn.
Dude, you got Deuce Vaughn. Why would you be airing it out with a guy who's not really that good of a passer?
Well, then they figured it out, and Adrian got hurt, sat him down. Will Howard comes in. He's a better fit for the offense.
Yes.
Could throw it, and Deuce Vaughn's still running the ball. And so I mean, that's called adapting mid-season. They had an injury, and they didn't drop off at all.
And you know
that's coaching.
And you guys, it's coaching, Raph, and like you just said, Jake, they didn't drop off. And again, it's coaching acumen, realizing, listen, I'm not going to force this kid to do something that's not in his strong suit. Where have we been seeing that happen a lot of years? Crickets. We know.
No comment.
We know without saying it's not a knock. It's just reality. And if people can't hand truth, that's the real. It's like my man said in the movie. What was it? Handle the truth.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yes, I mean that's just the reality.
A few good men.
A few good men.
Yes.
You know, Jack Nicholson playing. I mean, the reality is Kleiman does a great job and has done it. Now, year two, next year, we'll see what happens too if he keeps it going or not. But the guy has a great coaching acumen. Can you imagine if, in case down right there in Manhattan, can you imagine if they had the facilities?
I know.
And the
money
that an A&M has since we're going between him and Fisher. I mean,
be a different story.
It'd be a different story.
It's a different story. That's it for us. The Drive with AD and Raph is next for Steve Sipple. I'm Jake Sorensen. See ya.
Spring is in the air. Everyone knows this is the best